What's good, y'all? This your boy Black G92. I'm just on here real quick. I want to do a quick little live stream. Just chop it up with y'all for a minute. And like I said before in my recent reaction video, I was planning on going more details about this whole controversy over Easy Mill's song titled "The Realist," which features Eminem, the rap god himself. And apparently, I was just kind of taken aback from all the people that had issue with the verse. Some people went as far as trying to pull the race card, claiming that M is disrespecting black culture and hip hop and such. What he said about Melly Mel, like, no, he wasn't. The man just merely responded to one person's opinion. He wasn't talking about the entirety of hip hop culture or black people. He wasn't doing none of that. Like, the man was just standing up for himself for all the people that's talking shit about him in interviews and such. Like, for real, I don't know why people went to that conclusion. They're just stupid as hell, and quite a bit of them sound hella racist. You know what I mean? With their takes. You know what I mean? So that's just it on that, for real. And plus it shows that a lot of these hip hop fans, especially nowadays, is just too triggered and sensitive. Like, come on, it's M. M is gonna talk his shit. Ain't gonna, as well towards any and everybody. Like, shit. And some people had issue with them talking about Gen Z. Yeah, there's a good amount of content, like mainly hip hop Twitter accounts on hip hop Twitter that act like they're experts on the genre when they don't really have. They clearly have not done the research, nor or had the same type of love for the genre as the ones that came before them. You know what I mean? So ain't all the people as part of Gen Z that be talking crazy on here about like legends and such, but there's a good number of them out there that be like act like they have all the answers and have all the answers, act like they're experts on the genre of hip hop, but like I said before, they haven't done the research or none of that. Whoever's on there, come pull up, say something. Matter of fact, let's see. But yeah, and plus I like how he clapped back at the game as well, because especially what Game said about how he doesn't hear Eminem in the club or. But hear Eminem in the club as if that's the only place where a rapper is considered the greatest of all time. If that was the case, plenty of rappers that make club anthems would be considered the GOATs, which is not the case. And I like how he just flipped around. It's like the only reason your music getting played in the club because you performing there. Poking fun at Game for doing like performances at like little nightclub joints instead of arenas and such. Because Game ain't nowhere near on the status. And much respect to Game because he's a very talented rapper, but as far as popularity, he ain't seeing M and 50. He ain't M of 50's level where they can perform at arenas and stadiums. You know what I mean? He ain't on that. He ain't on their level. You know what I mean? It's like because like I said, it's levels to this shit. And to think the club is the end all, to be all of being considered the GOAT. That's just stupid. That's some stupid ass logic and shit. I don't know. Should not even be taken serious. Oh shit, ET Lifestyle is on it, and that's like that's a great resource for anything that wants to know. Anyone knows anything about Eminem? Like ET Lifestyle is the best place to go to. I haven't watched his channel in a minute. I haven't reacted to a video of his in a while neither. Must be in July. Bagged him. And I guarantee you got all the receipts of people just talking crazy, like as far as ET Lifestyles videos, because he got one talking about how M bagged, how he bagged Game and Melly Mel, as well as Gen Z. You forgot to put the part about Gen Z. And plus I read the lyrics. I haven't heard the actual song, but I've read the lyrics and saw them broken down on Quake's Diversity Lifestyle channel, and he did a great job breaking it down and showcasing which songs were towards that person or that person. That's like, oh shit, I would not have guessed. I figured he wouldn't have responded to the Game's song that would respond to the Game or Melly Mel, because that Black Sim Shady joint is just weak. You know what I mean? Even on Game standard, it's just weak. It was just a weak diss record, because if you compare that to 300 Bars of Running, yeah, game definitely did not hit the heat like he normally would. You know what I mean? It was just a mixture of a half-ass tribute to some half-ass diss. You know what I mean? It was just all mixed up, just not really cohesive as far as what he wanted to say on the track. It was just overlong, drawn out with skit interludes. Just such a 10 minutes too long. You know what I mean? Now, 300 bars run was 15 minutes if you count the intro, because the song itself was like maybe 11 minutes. 11 something minutes, but there's like a 2-3 minute intro when some kids are clowning G Unit and their releases. But like the entire track though, it was just 11 minutes of straight bars. You know what I mean? Compared to the 10-minute track, Black Some Shady. But back on like what I was saying about the breakdown of the lyrics, it kind of took me by surprise, and it kind of reminds me how diss records used to be made. Because most of the time, like when a diss record is made, it's not released immediately after a diss record, like after someone says something in an interview or a song that's been made by said artist. A response record doesn't come out immediately. Sometimes it may take them months to finally respond, and oftentimes you have to wait for the album or EP to be released, or a DJ to play the exclusive. And sometimes it takes a minute to come up with a response. But I guess people are so used to the whole Drake formula where you have to respond immediately, like where back in the day wasn't that same pressure. It's like you had to wait for the album to get released or a DJ to kind of premiere it on their little like radio station or whatever. And sometimes the official album may not come out till like a year or so later, or maybe months later, and you had to wait till then to finally hear the response for said diss record about said artist. You know what I mean? So that's what I appreciate about him. He took kind of like the old school approach with it. He ain't just immediately respond to the game or Melly Mel. I guarantee he's probably cooking up a verse or whatever. And you know what, Eminem, how much of a like wordsmith he is. He probably got like alternate versions of that same verse probably laid around in the studio. And this probably was the final one that was this A1 perfect, top notch, straight flames. You know what I mean? So I might do a reaction to Easy Mill's song, and probably sometime this week. Definitely sometime this week. Definitely gonna do a reaction to that song so I can hear how Eminem delivers, as well as Easy Mill. This will be my first time hearing about Easy Mill. And based on what Quake had mentioned in his video, not only talking about the realest song, but also speaking on him being signed by both Dre and Eminem, which we haven't seen in years. We haven't seen that since, like, what's his name? 50 Cent and Stat Quo were signed to the label.
You need to get out of your comfort zone.
Because that's like the last two artists where M and 50 signed the artists together.
This man is sick and twisted. Good Lord.
Hello again and welcome.
I like the little new intro he has. It's very different from how his earlier videos. How it was like. I got so used to that. I thought it was gonna be his main one for years on end. Yeah, man, shit. And like I said earlier, I appreciate how Eminem took that kind of that throwback approach with this verse. Damn, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Shit. Damn, I can't even talk right now. But shit, I need to get back on it. That shows I need to get back on and be more consistent with it. I might do a reaction to No Life Shaq's reaction to the song after I listen to the song itself. Like I said before, I'm already familiar with the lyrics of what and what he said to whom, based on Quake's channel. So this will be more of a review of the song than anything. It's gonna be a first reaction to the actual song, but as far as the lyrics on Eminem's verse, I'm already familiar with. You know what I mean? And yeah, because there's a whole bunch of just race baiting and a few of them could be considered racist when they said when it was like getting their feelings about Eminem's like response to Melly Mel in the game, trying to make it seem like he's disrespecting folks. Like, nah, nigga was talking to them, not the entirety of it. And plus as far as the line when he's talking about how his skin color on him back, which is the truth. Like, it held him back when he was on the come up. Now he definitely got a lot of credit and popularity for being white, but but then again, like his skill kind of helped maintain that longevity. Because if it was only based on the skin color, he would have fell off a long time ago. You know what I mean? It was just a bonus, if anything. And people still was talking shit about him being a white guy in a predominantly black musical genre. You know what I mean? So it was just open arms or rose petals laid out for the man. You know what I mean? People still had feelings about him, like dominating a predominantly black genre. You know, black genre music. You know what I mean? And being that one of the few white guys that's doing it and got skill. You know what I mean? People had still throwing little jabs here and there, even 20-something years later. You know what I mean? So it wasn't all easy. And then people got, like I said, people got their feelings and obviously took it out of context, didn't bother even hearing the entire song. They just took it out of context and ran with some bullshit narrative, which I don't like. You know what I mean? I don't like that shit. And you already know if the races were swapped, it would have been a whole different story. But unfortunately, it's cool to kind of talk shit about the white guy, you know what I mean? Say a bunch of foul shit about the white guy, of course. Even when he paid his dues and gave respect to those that came before him. It just never ends. You know what I mean? None's ever good enough for certain people. All right, let's get back to the video.
Man is sick and twisted.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Hello again, and welcome back to another one. And a few hours ago, we got the world premiere of Realist by Easy Meal featuring Eminem, and the internet has been going nuts over this since it dropped.
Shit, I wish I did a reaction so then people could see it. But yeah, I saw the clip of some rapper, well, of the rapper goes by the name of Easy Meal in the middle of Eminem and Dre, kind of just like kneeled up and shit, like in front of him, whatever. And they was in their chairs just posing, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, they got a new guy on the roster, Shady and Aftermath. That's what's up. I hope they managed to do something good with him. Hope they don't leave him on the shelf like they done with. Well, yeah, you could say they had Stat Quo's original version of Statlanta shelved. You know what I mean? Because Stat Quo released another version of Stat Quo on his own independent label. Took a couple songs he worked on with, I think it was with M or Dre. I think it's a couple tracks he made with Dre on that said project. But the ones that with M and Dre throughout the whole project left on the shelf, never to be heard again. You know what I mean? Because the album kept on getting pushed back. It was supposed to be released in 06 and 07. Man, I was definitely looking forward to a Stat Quo project because I heard his verse on that Come See Me from one of them dudes from Field Mob on that little Disturbing the Peace compilation album. I was like, okay, Stat Quo got some heat. So I like that verse. I thought he was going to take over, going to put on for the South. I mean, like how Young Buck did so for G-Unit Records, G-Unit and Interscope, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And I think Stat Quo is more of an A&R, like A&R type of person now, I believe. He ain't really put out music since like releasing that Statlanta album on his own independent label. Like I said, it was finally released, but it wasn't the same one that was hyped up. You know what I mean? To kind of blow up in 2008, 2006, 2008 time period. You know what I mean? But then again, M had his own little issues going on, and I don't know how come Dre never signed off on it, signed off on the release. Was it singles not catching fire, or who knows? But anyway, I talked enough about Stat Quo but not to mention. But then again, like on Dre's side though, like shit, what's his name? Kendrick and Anderson .Paak had released several projects under Aftermath imprint. So, and of course, you got a couple like releases from Westside Boogie and also the Griselda album their debut first and only album to date. I wonder when they're gonna drop a follow up to the one. Think of what would Chingun do? I wonder when they're gonna drop a follow up to that album because that one's pretty hard. It was released on Shady Records as well, and also Westside Gun. I believe Westside Gun dropped. Westside Gun dropped his first and only album. His only mainstream debut album on Shady Records as well, and then like not Gunplay, but Conway the Machine dropped his mainstream debut album on there too. Let me check. Let me do a quick Googles. They got a city called Conway, South Carolina. Got a city named Conway. Oh yeah, he did drop an album on Shady Records. Yeah, God don't make mistakes. It's his second official album and his first mainstream album. Not mainstream. First like mainstream. First mainstream. First album released on on a major label, which was Shady. And plus it was released. Well, they had distribution on there. It was released through Drumwork, Griselda, Shady, and Interscope. And Won't He Do It was straight independent though. And he left. Yeah, he left Shady and Griselda, both Griselda and Shady. Now Griselda's independent, but he left the major label Shady after before the release of God Don't Make Mistakes. But yeah, Shady Records managed to crank out some projects on there. Aside from M and there was two in that one Slaughterhouse project that didn't do so well according to like M. It didn't really touch the fans, like get the reception that they expected. Maybe because of the production, maybe. It's mainly because of the beat selection. And that's why it's called M allowed the other members, not the other members, but the group Griselda kind of handle this second project on their own. Damn, I'm surprised no one tuned in this morning. Oh well. They'll see it when it's done. When this live stream is done recording. They'll see the playback footage. Yeah, but anyway, let me get off the subject of releases from Aftermath and Shady. Let's get back to the video.
World premiere of Realist by Easy Meal featuring Eminem, and the internet has been going nuts over this since it dropped, and for good reason. As Eminem finally fired back at Melly Mel,
Yep.
went on a run a few months ago, trash talking Eminem, and Eminem also fired back at Acts Like the Game on this one. Not a straight on this.
Damn, they got the little game with the whole like the red eyes in it. Like he was like got done shedding tears and shit. Damn, ET lifestyle's petty.
And Eminem also fired back.
And for people just getting on defense of Melly Mel, like they seem to forget he also talked shit about Jay-Z and Lil Wayne. I'm not sure about the other people because there's this one tweet that mentioned a bunch of other names that Melly Mel has kind of talked crazy about. I'm not sure about those videos. I don't really follow Melly Mel's interviews or vlogs like that, so I wouldn't know for certain. And even in what they call it Math Hoffa's channel, Math Hoffa's podcast. I think it's called Expert Opinion. And Method Man was on there. He's even said that Melly Mel had kind of built that reputation of constantly hating on the rappers that came after him and such. And Method Man had to tell him, hey man, you gotta chill, man. Like you gotta chill on those that came after you type deal. And he even say he still got love for Melly Mel for being one of those pioneers of rap. And I also still do as well. Like I still give him respect for putting out that song, The Message, with Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, with speak on their experiences and their dealings of the day-to-day life in their hoods. You know what I mean? So yeah, Melly Mel definitely was one of those pioneers. So he still gets respect for that, but you gotta kind of relax on just shitting on people like that came after him. There's an older, you know what I mean? Like there's some that's still doing this that got skill. So yeah, man. So that's one thing I can't really stand. Well, I guess that's one thing. That's why I don't really feed into the whole old school versus new school thing. Because at the end of the day, each generation had trash artists. Each of them had dope artists. You know what I mean? Now, there is something to be said about prior generations, of course, where it seemed like the genre was progressing from the kind of more like simplistic 80s style, the simplistic style from the 80s. Now there was those exceptions like Rakim Cool G rap that kind of incorporated more of like multi-syllables and such, complex with it. I believe Big Daddy Kane also incorporated that type of style of rapping as well. And of course had Chuck D kind of built off of what like Melly Mel was doing and get more political with it. You know what I mean? Add the whole political lens to it and have rappers come out doing songs that address like issues in society and like the government and such, you know what I mean? So it's that kicked off the whole Pan-African movement that was going on in the early 90s and like the conscious rap scene, you know what I mean? So Anyway, damn, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I was talking about how this house in a whole tangent about how rap progressed from the simplistic style of the early songs, whatever, to some more complex going into the late 80s, 90s onward. You know what I mean? And now, granted, as of today, there's a whole lot of like repetitiveness as far as people going in more into the drill, trap, and rap, and more so the hood rap type of songs. Like, there's still some that got skill that kind of, even if those is within those subgenres that can stand out and make other type of songs and have like new kind of like come up with different ways to talk about said subject matter as well. So not all hope is lost in the new era. Everyone's trying to adjust to it. You know what I mean? All generations, whether the old or the new generation, trying to adjust to this change of how songs are made. Like, especially when it comes to this, having them be like a minute or two long. Like, can't even get past the 3 minute mark. It's like 2 minutes long. That's it. Or maybe one verse and that's it. One verse and one hook. That's it. And maybe hook may come again. Like, god damn, where's the third verse? Where's the bridge? Like, what the fuck? Man. Let's get back to it.
Acts like the game on this one.
Yeah.
El Jamar caught a stray.
Yep, he sure did.
As many of you remember, he also pirated games.
He definitely did.
How they don't play Eminem in
clubs.
And I'll take it away from you. When have you ever heard an Eminem song in the club?
And even Gen Z was catching some hands, and some of them off. Although there's a plot twist.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a plot twist.
Some highlights based on the conversations.
Now, before we say anything about the plot twist to what M said about Gen Z, I think I have an idea who he's referring to, because Easy Mill is part of Gen Z as well, and M was talking crazy about them. So it's interesting how how Easy Mill, a Gen Z artist, got M to feature on the song, and he talked crazy about that era. That is insane. You know what I mean? If you think about it. But it goes to show, like, there's still some hope as far as those that want to hear that intricate rhymes from the younger generations. I have not heard any song from, I haven't heard a song from Easy Mill yet, but based on the fact that M and Dre co-signed him, makes me think he's one of them guys that's going to deliver what people been wanting from the young generation, and hopefully does cross over to wider audiences. And according to Quake, he mentioned how he incorporates some metal into it and has some R&B into his sound or whatever, and as well as the rap. Also got the rap game down pat and the rap skills down pat as well, so he can cross it to any other lane based on what I've heard. I gotta check out the projects first, so let me know in the live stream or in the comment section if you want me to check out any of Easy Mill's songs as well as The Realist. I'm gonna give The Realist a reaction perhaps tomorrow. I'm gonna do 2 of them tomorrow, as well as may do one today. Do a reaction today, more so maybe another reaction after that one. But let's get to it.
And we'll also be breaking down some bars on the song and providing the references as we go. So sit tight, crack a cold one, and enjoy.
Got Mountain Dew.
With the name and his ilk, like El Jamar, who often run to the point that they don't play Eminem in nightclubs. They hang on to this point so much, you'll think that nightclubs alone determine who's the GOAT in hip-hop and Eminem rapped. And all the envious rappers I torch if I'm on a joint with him. And that is the only retort, is I'm not played in the clubs. MF put a cork in it. Only reason they still play your shit in the clubs is because you still performing them.
Ooh, that was just spicy. That dude was spitting, man, when he said that. He just like flipped that criticism back on them. It's like, only reason your joints can play at the club because he performing them. Which is a good number of artists don't have the same global reach. You know what I mean? Shit, it's no shot towards those that get their money from club appearances and such. But again, there's levels to this shit. You know what I mean? There's levels to it. Only a few artists can, like, not only just perform at nightclubs in the United States, but also perform like way overseas in a whole other country that speak a different language. It's like there's levels to this shit.
like a villain when Eminem elaborated on expanding the genre of hip hop to as far as Japan.
He really
He
did.
rapped, I'm a guest in this house, but I turned
This
this
bitch
bitch
to a mansion. That's an expansion.
Made
Made it gargantuan. England, Germany, France, and jet pants in this bitch.
Even Dubai, because my music,
They do buy.
Now, rappers are known to exaggerate, but let me give you some context. Using Japan as an example, Eminem's move nearly
I'm gonna play it back though, cause ooh.
England, Germany, France, and
That's why I knew knew what he was talking about. Cause now I know he's gonna break down the sales of M's albums over in Japan, but yeah, I didn't need to even look at. Well, I've seen some charts shown on this channel of him having to reach in other countries outside the U.S. It's like, whoo, he definitely done earned it. M definitely is that guy for real. This having that type of audience worldwide. You know what I mean?
ends in this beat, even Dubai, because my music,
They do buy.
Now, rappers are known to exaggerate.
Yeah,
but
that's
let me
true.
give you some context. Using Japan as an example, Eminem's moved nearly 5 million albums in the country. And for some context on how difficult that market has been for hip-hop, Drake has moved a total of 83,000 albums in Japan. Kendrick Lamar has moved 110,000. Kanye West has moved 682,000. And it's not just Japan. Eminem and Tupac are...
Wow, that's insane. I thought Kanye West probably would have sold more than that. Because he stays like getting inspired by that country as far as his like style of cover art, as well as his some of his clothing choices and such, as well as using like kind of sounds that would be popular in Japan. Like, I'm surprised Kanye West ain't sold more. He actually lived over there for a minute when he was supposedly not exiled, but he was supposedly like canceled for a brief moment for snatching the mic from Taylor Swift. He was going in on him, talking crazy, and rightfully so, because he interrupted a young girl's like award speech, acceptance speech. He just interrupted her set. He could wait, and plus he could wait till after the awards to say his piece about who he felt had the greatest video of all time. He could, but he was on the Hennessy and nigga was drunk and was not thinking straight. Decided to go on stage and just ruin someone else's night. I'm gonna let you finish. Beyonce had the greatest music video of all time. And dude act like it was no issue. Of course, he had a lot of backlash and get away from that pressure. Went over to Japan, worked on a few songs here and there, which I'm gonna do a reaction to that song called "Never See Me Again," which I've discovered through a Kanye West iceberg. You know how people do YouTube videos on what they call iceberg, little icebergs, like diagrams and shit about different fandoms and like video game lore and rappers and such, or hip hop conspiracy theories. It's like, so someone made one about Kanye West, and that's how I discovered that song "Never See Me Again." I believe it was recorded sometime before the release of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and based on that said video, on the information that was gathered, it was supposed to be his last song because he was contemplating like taking himself out. Because I guess that pressure really got to him. And of course, not to mention he was still kind of dealing with the death of his mother, like, because he didn't really take a break after her untimely death. He just kept on touring and such and recording music. He never really took the time out to really grieve and process it. He never did that, and that wound was still fresh. And of course, the backlash from people, it just drove him over the edge. And thank God, he's still here to put out music. You know what I mean? Still put out music, in spite of all the other insane, stupid shit he said over the years. I'm glad he's still here, giving us that great music. Just imagine if he went through with it. That would have been something else. It would have been a whole different legacy, been a whole different turnout of events for Kanye. And plus, not to mention, he influenced like so many artists that came after him. Like, of course, Kid Cudi already had his sound before he linked up with Kanye, but he probably wouldn't have blown up as quick as he did if he never signed to good music. Of course, you have Big Sean, whose career has seen quite the heights when he was signed on good music, when they still was on speaking terms. Because now Big Sean don't even rock with Kanye West like that. And who else was signed? Who else was influenced? Travis Scott. Like, apparently what I've read, like, Travis Scott's album Utopia takes a lot of cues from the Yeezus album, and used the old beat that was made during that Yeezus era for that album. was other producers adding their little touches onto the song, whatever. So yeah, we got Travis Scott, Chance the Rapper, and who else? It's quite a bit of artists that have been inspired by Kanye West. Of course, Childish Gambino. Why does he think he made a whole funk album? You know what I mean? Shit, Kanye West did something similar way back. He still had songs where he's rapped on 808s of Heartbreak. There's others where he's mainly crooning, singing, whatever throughout that project. And he kind of mixed in the rapping and the singing still, but it's mainly auto-tune. And it took a very different approach from the the kind of chipmunk sound from College Dropout, and also what they call it, yeah, from College Dropout, and of course the advanced set sound on Late Registration and electronic sound he was going for on the Graduation. But like I said before, like he took quite a bit of inspiration from Japan, and I'm surprised he ain't sold the same amount as Eminem. And wow, seeing these numbers, seeing how Drake didn't even crack 1 million, nor Kendrick Lamar, is like, wow. That's crazy when you think about the numbers like that.
Kendrick Lamar has moved 110,000. Kanye West has moved 682,000. And it's not just Japan. Eminem and Tupac are by far the biggest rappers outside the Western world,
that's true.
Africa. Pac also moved over 1 million in Japan. And these bars aimed at the likes of Game, and also El Jamar has got the internet buzzing right now.
I know.
User expands. I keep telling y'all, leave Eminem alone. Now y'all made him mad. Eminem should be ashamed of himself because M responded to him with only 2 lines because he's not worth it. And he also said he's bigger than Jay-Z worldwide. Beyonce's husband.
He said Beyonce's husband.
Spicing it up by including
I know, right? He just had to throw it straight at Jay-Z. Like, Jay ain't did shit or said shit about him. I think it's that not Bashir guy. Like, he stays calling Jay-Z Beyonce's husband. Oh shit, that is funny. That'll never get old. Calling Jay-Z Beyonce's husband. Like, nah, you won't hear me say that, cause that's just petty. But damn, I'm here for it though. Oh boy, y'all gotta do Jay like that. Y'all gotta do that man like that. But I'm already aware that Tupac was big outside the U.S. because there's whole murals painted in Africa of Tupac. That shows how impactful his music was. And plus, he got a big following in Europe as well. Like, people was really into Tupac when he was alive way over in Europe, those countries in Europe. That's why I've gathered. I think there's a rare interview did. I think it's over the UK, maybe in the UK or a German radio station that was sampled for Kendrick Lamar's Mortal Man. It was kind of spliced to kind of have Kendrick Lamar read his letter, not read his letter, but lead his little poem that he written, explain the meaning of expound on the meaning of that poem to Tupac and such. Almost like he's talking to Tupac from beyond the grave. Well, more so, hold up, not just that, more so asking Tupac about comments that would connect with the poem that Kendrick Lamar wrote for that album. And he just read it to him, and of course near the end, after the drums while the drums are playing, like he was asking Pac, you know, it seemed like Pac just disappeared, went back to the grave or some shit. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna have to listen to that album again because I've heard it like some months back. I was just revisiting that album, and it still hits hard. You know what I mean? Still is relevant to this day.
Now some are asking the game, get up from the floor at game. The way you wasted a 6-minute track and he ate you up in one line. Game has been getting blasted all around. Eminem selling out stadiums in Dubai, and the game performing songs carried by 50 Cent in nightclubs.
Embarrassing.
While being asked to pick himself up from the floor, Melly Mel was also catching hands on this.
Yeah,
one.
he was.
You all remember when Melly Mel said this about Eminem being top 5 on Billboard's GOAT list.
I remember that shit.
Talking about rhyme style. Okay, he got a rhyme style, but he's white. So now if Eminem was just another dude like all the rest of us, would he be top 5 on that list?
I'm sure he would. There's a response to what Melly Mel said, and plus, not to mention the fact he wants to. It's like the only reason he's on the top 5 because his skin color was this. Not the entire truth at all. Like if the only reason he's successful based on this was because of skin color, he would have fell off a long time ago, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, Melly Mel was reaching. Yeah, Melly Mel was not even giving the full truth on the matter. So YM is on that top 5 now. Like skin color may have helped out as getting like attention and such, but again, his skills kind of added to it and gave him that longevity and gained him fans as well. Because otherwise, like I said before, he would have fizzled out like within that year of him blowing up after some shady LP if he wasn't talented.
And he concluded, Eminem gets a top spot because he's white. And I fight back at this on Realist, where Gen Z also called strays. It's not even close, I'm by far the GOAT. Gen Z's acting like rap experts. Zip up your gaps and close your mouths. B, you ain't been on this planet. To tell me how rap sounds. And after telling Gen Z to stick to
what they do best,
like maybe
shooting up schools.
Good Lord.
Ain't it?
Eminem added, shout out to Furious 5 and Grandmaster Flash, but boy, there's someone who really is furious. Stay out his path, his wrath avoid.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be the last to toy with a juice.
Juice.
Like meteor hit it. Well, there went Melly Mel.
Yeah. I like how you mentioned there went Melly Mel. We lost his asteroids. Damn. That was pretty clever because, Melly Mel is swole as shit. So I don't know. Maybe he has a good workout routine. I'm not sure how true it is, but the fact he mentioned it, I was like, Because quite a bit of the people from his era be doing those roids heavy. You know what I mean? He's call him a juice head and such. Like, ooh. I felt that burn.
Us his asteroids. Damn. And the fact that asteroids are remnants floating around in space, think leftover building blocks from the early stages of a solar system's formation. Once extremely useful, but now a nuisance in space, makes this even more hilarious when you think of Mel on the ranting about Eminem. Eminem finally said what many of us have been thinking. My skin color still works.
Now, I didn't peep the whole reference, like kind of like saw the reference to asteroids, like asteroid. Oh, lost his ass to. Oh man, I don't know why I didn't peep that. It's like asteroids. I kind of broke it down to 3 different syllables of shit. Not 3 different syllables, but yeah, I think break it down to syllables of shit. It's like, ooh, okay, that's pretty clever of Eminem. For real, it's like asteroids. That's insane, man. Of course, I like how this mentioned on the screen says something about Melly Mel early stages of hip hop. That's true. He was part of the early stage, but no one really raps in that style. You know what I mean? They just progressed from it. Now, as far as this new era of rappers, it sound like they're kind of regressing in a sense. Now, I've heard what Gully Boy said, how it's getting back to the party vibes and shit, but which that is true and at the same time it's not. Because back in that era, it was hip-hop still like kind of a new genre of music. Nowadays, when they do that style, it's the easiest. It's the most popular it's ever been. Hip hop is as popular as it's ever been. It's worldwide now. It ain't just regulated to the hoods of America. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely not in the same setting, or if anything, it's kind of is somewhat kind of regressing in a sense. The only difference is we done heard those simplistic styles before, and we shouldn't like this applaud it. You know what I mean? Granted, it's always gonna be at lane, but like, come on now. That ain't the entire truth. But anyway, that's that on that.
Against me, cause second I should be to none. Being white ain't why they put me at top 5.
Nope.
It is why they can't put me at 1.
Facts.
And even hip-hop
Facts.
fans on Twitter are cooking Mel right now in response to this. Jesus Christ, Eminem body bagged one of my hip-hop heroes. Mel asked for this smoke, and he got it.
Yep.
Another expanded. I know Mel didn't really think Eminem was gonna let that ish slide. Eminem is the only rapper who's bold enough to diss anyone who trash talk him. The guy goes against anyone who pokes him, and M is king for that. Eminem already started going in on even Snoop Dogg before they talked it out, and bear in mind, he's not the instigator
At all.
Any of
He
this.
don't be starting none of it.
For the media journalist who will try to spin this in the coming days, just watch, and while some Gen Z Eminem ended it with, I'm just playing Gen Z,
I love you.
And now some are asking, holy freaking hellfire, give me an album with 10 more like this. And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on Easy Meal. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. And see you on the next one.
Yeah, M is known for doing that. It's like, hey, I'm just playing y'all. You know I love you. Did the same with Puffy when he like accused him of having something to do with Tupac getting killed. That's funny. He always does that. When he goes in on somebody, he's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm just playing. You know I love you. That's true, man. Live. Yeah, I'm glad someone's seen the light. You know what I mean? Someone in the comment section said what Eminem said about Gen Z is 100% fact. I have to admit, most of us don't even have the slightest clue what rap is supposed to be. A lot of us still listen to this new era mumble rap garbage. Ah, boy. Oh man, I see. I see Crypt. I see Crypt and No Life Shack are busy with these reactions to the song, of course, because they start off as stands. Well, they're both like M stands, whatever. So it's expected. Well, matter of fact, they're just like big Eminem fans because they're more logical than most stands. You know what I mean? They have checked out other artists' music on their channel, so maybe stan ain't the correct term. I'll say they're more so very big Eminem fans. I'm gonna say that. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's good, Wupak? Yeah, Melly Mel's definitely been on some clown shit recently, man. Just going in on and what's good? What's good? I wish I was watching it, but I was watching ET Lifestyle. You know what I mean? I was watching ET Lifestyle video. I might watch another one. I'm surprised. I wish I would have known. I would have said something earlier. But yeah, I agree though. Melly Mel been on some clown shit recently, man. Just talking crazy about those that came after him. Especially what he said about Lil Wayne. Talking about some Lil Wayne uses the auto-tune too much and such. Like, saying that's how he got big or something. Like, Wayne was already a star before he used auto-tune. And he has songs where he doesn't use auto-tune. Like, so it's like, what? He been on, like I said, that's true. And it does look bad. It looks bad for people from his era because they're supposed to kind of embrace the young generation that is doing that has skill and talent. You know what I mean? Or those that coming up after him, at least keeping the genre alive. But no, sometimes they just go into this talking out the side of their neck without doing the research on them.
Hello again, and welcome back to another one. And while we are still collecting data on the damage Eminem's verse on Realist looks to be doing, it's a lot of tears on the internet.
Yep.
Specifically, personally attacked by Eminem. Today we'll be focusing on King Crooked's reaction to Eminem firing back at Melly Mel and the conversations it sparked so far as Crook went back and forth with users on Twitter. And today we also have Joe Biden's take on Eminem walking out turns.
I know Crooked. I know Crooked. I so used to call him Crooked Eye. I forgot he changed his name to King Crooked. I mean, I understand, but because I'm so used, that's all I know from him is by the old name Crooked Eye. You know what I mean? I know he's been calling himself King Crooked for years, but I'm so used to calling him by his old name, so I gotta correct myself sometimes. Like, oh, King Crooked, but I'm sure he doesn't mind being called Crooked Eye, because that's how I knew of him after I found out he was signed to Death Row sometime after he left and such. And just reading about him on XXL magazine, checking out his verse on Tech Nine Psychology 101 song, which I might look at Stevie Knight's reaction to that song.
The current pound-for-pound #1 boxer in the world. And before we dive in, speaking on Game versus Eminem, while fans have been talking about Eminem's response, like Game still performing his in nightclubs, we uncovered something interesting that supports these claims. For instance, in the United Kingdom, all of Game's certified singles are all thanks to 50 Cent. But we have something even more interesting, as based on Easy Meal's post that shows Realist surpassed 1 million streams on Spotify.
Hours, that is
the fact that Game's Drillmatic album reportedly debuted on Spotify with 960,000 streams in its first 24 hours.
Not
For
bad.
some more context, the album also included the Eminem diss Black Skin.
Yup.
And while you let that sink in for a moment, today we'll start with King Crooked's reaction to Eminem.
Shit, if I was a rapper, I would love to have if I was a rapper, I would love to have 960,000 streams within 24 hours. That would be big numbers right there. And of course, it's still good numbers as far as being signed to independent. But I get what he's trying to. I get what ET Lifestyle is implying though, because he had the Eminem diss record Black Sim Shady, which everyone was hyped up for. He kept on talking about it, going at him and wanting to step out in the booth and such, and like go against him and all that shit, baiting them to respond. All that time while clowning 50 Cent and Dre and discrediting Dr. Dre's help in his first album. Talking about, oh, Kanye West helped me out more in 1 week and 1 day than Dre's ever did in my career. It's like, you was signed to Dre. He had you in the studio for a year and could not come up with a hit because you didn't know how to write hooks. And he called up 50 Cent to help you out with those hooks, Game. So I was not gelling what Game was trying to do as far as like rewriting history of his come up in the game. Like, no pun intended. But yeah, how your morning going, Wu Pac?
Because first he reacted with this meme. Melly Mel listening to the new Eminem verse. Melly in the booth right now. And
Probably so.
He doesn't respond. What if he drops it on hip hop's birthday, 8/11? And while this already sparked hilarious reaction, Melly Mel.
It's oh shit! Someone tweeted Melly Mel going to the booth with Macklemore. I forgot he made the cameo on Downtown with Macklemore. No one from the streets, boy. Boy, downtown. No one from the streets, boy. What is Macklemore doing now? Ever since since he made Same Love, Downtown, and Thrift. It's a Thrift Shot and that White Privilege song, the second part. I've not heard the first one, but I heard the second part though. And he disappeared after winning that Grammy. And he dropped another album and disappeared again. And disappeared though. Like it's crazy how Macklemore was one of those rappers that was very popular, but he just disappeared. Hopefully he's doing okay. Because what's it called? That Same Love track kind of opened the doors for the representation of LGBTQ community in hip hop, whatever. Kind of opened up that door as such, made it more accepting. When hip hop wasn't as accepting, still in the 2010s. I think by then though, people didn't really care that much like that. You feel me? But it was still quite a bit of that going on. And of course, I mentioned we had Frank Ocean, who came out as gay and such, and still was successful. No one really cared. I mean, there's some people that was being asshole, probably were being homophobic towards him, but for the most part, no one really cared. No one gave two shits about what it was into. It was buzzing news, but after a while, people was like, okay, cool. And his album, Channel Orange, still sold millions. I don't know why I included R&B singer to that, but Frank Ocean had started with Odd Future, the group Odd Future. You know what I mean? So he was doing hooks and shit with said artists. And I think he rapped on a few songs with Odd Future as well. I have to do some revisiting of Odd Future. I haven't heard every last project, but I did listen to Wolf as well as a song from Earl Sweatshirt and quite a bit of songs from Frank Ocean. But yeah, I gotta give Macklemore's props for making that song "Same Love," and of course making it cool to Drift Shop. You know what I mean? And of course adding two hip hop pioneers on his song "Downtown" and inviting them to the music video. A lot of people don't be doing that. Hell, he did a lot more than say. That's more than say. With Trouble, rest in peace, done so for his sample of that Chopper song, Chopper style for a song "She a Winner" with Young Miami. They didn't bother calling up Chopper and the DJ that made the original song on the music video. Nor did the City Girls. I think JT was still in jail when the song Twerk came out. Yeah, they could. I mean, Cardi B and Young Miami could have called up Chopper to come through, like have him pose for the camera or just mouth off the sample of the song or something like that. Surrounded by all them beautiful women. That would have been nice. Oh, Hey, whoever's in the live stream, let it be known. But hey, by the way, Wupak, how your morning going? And matter of fact, I think the DJ had made the song sue not only Choppa himself, who was on the song, made the original, but kind of took that song to like when he signed the Master P's label, No Limit. The new No Limit was distributed by Universal or Koch. I think it was still on Universal by then. Damn, I'm going a whole nother subject matter, but let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the subject.
With Macklemore, this take got Crook's attention. Melly don't want that
Ah!
smoke, to which he responded. He made the message, man.
Yeah.
I think he wants all of it.
I'm sure he does. He got time.
And when Lisa asked, yes, but it's never been this real. Rappers who have fought M on tracks have been discredited as MCs to a point where they have changed genres. This M hasn't worked for anyone.
It hasn't,
It's not
but
just real suicide, but it's an all-out fight for your credibility.
I think it all depends on the artist.
Some things out
I want to hear
in
this.
response to this. There's nothing M can do to erase
Nah.
from the hip-hop history books.
Yeah,
Let's get
that dude was going too far because, yeah, that dude was kind of reaching there because Melly Mel's name would still be relevant in terms of like hip hop history books. You know what I mean? He definitely laid down that foundation for rappers to pour more substance in their music. You know what I mean? He was one of those early ones. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have like folks like making songs about the crack epidemic, police brutality, racism, all that stuff you can think of that started coming about because of that song right there, the message. You know what I mean? It was that blueprint. So yeah, I mean that other dude was reaching when he said that. So yeah, I mean it wouldn't affect his stance on rap, and plus not to mention he ain't found guilty any sort, had no. Of course, not to mention Melly Mel got no skeletons in his closet, unlike Africa Bambaataa, which puts a lot of things into question. Now, his not status, but his contribution to the genre won't be taken away, but his stance as this activist, whatever, kind of changed things a lot. You know what I mean? It's just make you look at him different. And not that, well, I ain't gonna say nothing. Well, I'm gonna stop right there because I'm gonna get back to the video.
In perspective, this is straight fact, but Eminem is adding to Melly Mel's history right now by quote stir-frying the and when Lazarus
Yeah.
asked him on his take on
Lazarus.
Eminem and Melly Mel, Crook added, I could be wrong, but I ultimately think this is what Melly wanted, and now the ball is in his court. If he drops a great record, it will be dope for the culture in terms of pioneers continuing to shine in this day and age. But some disagree with Crook on this. Sorry, Crook, but the ball is not in Mel's court.
Well, I mean, who knows? Because, hey, who knows? Because it's definitely not the first time an artist from the current generation inspired an old school rapper to kind of get back in that booth and drop some fire again while responding to said naysayers and criticism. Because that's what happened with when the Migos and members of Bone was going at it with each other, which started off as something more so lighthearted, but then like Offset kind of got personal with it, talking about money and shit, and not Offset, but Lazy Bone responded with "Let Me Go, Migo," which that diss record was trash. You know what I mean? He was, like I said, I give him credit for stepping in the booth and saying we had like how he felt about Migos and 21 Savage, because 21 was saying some shit. They ain't got now 21 Savage got way too personal bringing up Lazy Bone's wife in the mix. I was like, oh shit, and of course Busy Bone pulled up on IG Live waving around. They called him musket, elephant gun. But he had a double barrel shotgun twirling around and everything. This threatening 21 Savage and Migos as such. And of course, like the police pulled up to his house, no arrests were made, and people was talking about him on Instagram and like social media. And what Busy Bone did, he decided to go in that booth and just aired him out like Carbon Monoxide, the top track for his album. I think that's what the timeline was. Yeah, I believe that's what the timeline was. Because I know all that happened around the same time. But yeah, he dropped that song and he came out with the fire we haven't seen since. Because Busy Bone dropped a lot of solo projects. I say since maybe Art of War 3. Because that album was pretty hard. You know what I mean? It may not have been as good as the first Art of War double disc album, but Art of War 3 was pretty solid though. Even though it just had like Lazy, Flesh, and Busy on there, and the other two were kind of went off, did their own thing afterwards, because there was a lot of tension in the group, and Like we definitely haven't seen Busy Bone spin that fire in years. You know what I mean? When he dropped that carbon monoxide song as well as the album, like he has some fire lit to him when Migos was talking crazy, 21 Savage talking crazy about him. He just went in that booth and just like went in. You know what I mean? And dropped an amazing album with this great producer Blaze. Which, by the way, I gotta check out what Blaze is up to. I gotta check out what Blaze is up to, because I wonder if they still work together. Busy and Blaze. Yeah, and of course, not the entire album was about Migos. You know what I mean? There was maybe quite a few songs referencing the Migos, but it was basically him just like, you know, just spin that like that whole iconic melodic rap singing flow he's best known for, as well as a whole lot of storytelling too, referring to his come up days and also paying tribute to Easy E in the skit. So yeah, Busy was back on the ball, got fire lit to him. He just went in that booth and just like showcase his skills. They showed he still got it to compete with people within the 21 Savage Migos lane in 2019, and that man's dropped 5 different albums with each year. I have yet to check out Mantra, the Roar of Roses, both the OG, not the OG, both the standard version and the I think it was the remastered version or the deluxe edition of the album. I think Roar of Roses. Nah, it was that, and also I'm Busy. I forgot about the track I'm Busy. They dropped the deluxe for that shit. So I got react to, like, not react, but I gotta give a live stream listen to those albums, see how them joints sound. I did hear some snippets from the Mantra, and he kept that fire going from that first comeback album with that album. And you know the Bone fan base been fucking with each of his solo releases as well, which is a great sign that your day one fans are still rocking with you years later. So who knows? Like maybe Melly Mel may motivate Melly Mel to get in that booth and showcase he can still hang with the younger guys. You know what I mean? And get some updated production and, you know, just talk his shit on record. Maybe respond to him. So hey, don't doubt the man now, because most of the artists from his era came up battle rapping as well. So who knows? It might light that fire into him. Like finally get in that booth instead of talking crazy about people. Hey, getting that. I've been wanting him to do, cause especially when he said he can beat Jay-Z in the battle in the clips. Like I don't know, cuz I don't know, bro. I don't know if he can hang with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? I know you the pioneer and all, but I don't think you hang with Jay-Z. It's been years since you dropped an album or a song. You know what I mean? So after seeing a clip of that, the scene we said about M and Lil Wayne, it's like, okay, now how about we step in that booth and show us they still got it? You know what I mean? Then we as the listeners be the judge. Yeah, so Crooked might be on the ball on this one. He could be wrong. He could be very wrong, and Melly Mel may not even bother responding. You know what I mean? on wax, that is. But my fingers are crossed, because like I gave the example of the beef between Lazy Busy with Migos and 21 Savage. It's like, it could happen. People gonna get that fire lit into them and get back in that booth. You know what I mean? So
of pioneers continuing to shine in this day and age, but some disagree with Crook on this. Sorry, Crook, but the ball is not in Mel's court. M's this was a light jab because he still respects OGs, but Melly Mel's negativity towards M is unwarranted and not at all, quote, dope for the culture. And Crook went on to add, if there was such a thing as hip-hop Jeopardy and the category was founders and pioneers, M would get every He loves this ish immensely. I don't think that was an easy recording session.
Nah, I don't think it was easy.
Just realized it's Eminem versus Eminem. And some have pointed out something ironic about Melly Mel hating on Eminem. He hating on Eminem because he's white, but does a song with Macklemore. We spoke about the quote spin.
Yeah, that is the irony of it. Like, he was shitting on Eminem for being white, but he did a song with Macklemore. Oh shit, that is insane. that is hypocrisy. And his rap name has 2 M's, like Eminem. That is the irony of everything too. Hey, we gotta wait. Hey, we just gotta just wait and see. But you know, like I said, since Melly Mel has been in the booth in years and been known for his statements and interviews, I don't know, there's maybe some doubt there. But I've been surprised before, so and I've been wrong before. So I don't know. I think they both brought some good points. Both the responder and Crooked brought some good points because I understand where Crooked's coming from because he also respects a lot of the OGs as well, as I do. I mean, so hey, stranger things have happened.
Will come in to change the narrative
Yeah.
of what's going on between Eminem
Spinsters.
and Melly Mel, as now apparently Eminem is attacking Melly Mel. Check this out.
Mm.
Eminem attacking Melly Mel doesn't sit well with
Yeah.
him, especially when he's doing it on a song by another.
Ooh, that's the song I was not the song, but the tweet I was saying I was kind of getting racist. This is one of those tweets. You know what I mean? Like what's his name? He goes by the name of Mike Bibbs, not Bibbs, but Biggs, and I think that's what his Twitter name is. And he's just been on this whole FBA shit. I mean, which is initials for Foundational Black Americans, which that whole group is a whole mess. I'm not even want to even talk about them dudes, man, because some of the stuff they be saying, especially about black people that are not from originally from America, sounds very similar to white supremacists. You know what I mean? At least from my perspective, how they just talk shit about them and discredit their contribution to America. It's like, and not to mention they have this whole thing of like discredit Africa, which again, most of our ancestors are from Africa, you know, from those different countries in Africa and tribes and such. So I don't know why there's this whole push of claiming other ethnicities, like claiming Indian, Native Americans to be exact, or claiming Hebrew and shit instead of African ancestry. It's like, okay, are y'all ashamed of that or something? But like I said before, I'm not gonna get too deep into it because it's a whole nother subject for a whole nother time. But yeah, Mike Biggs done drank that Kool-Aid and now he's just talking this FBA shit on his Twitter platform. And the fact he called Easy Mill a white rapper when he's clearly Asian, Filipino to be exact. I was like, how the fuck do you think? I was like, that show how dumb he was. And it's quite the equivalent of a white person referring to a person from Pakistan as an Arab. You know what I mean? That's what it sounded like to me. You know what I mean? At first, it's like, really, dude? You just got an Asian person mixed with and called the Asian person white. It's like, how the fuck? How do you live with yourself without doing research or? Oh boy, he was sort of saying something else. You know what I mean? Although, let me go ahead and finish watching this video.
Apparently, Eminem is attacking Melly Mel. Check this out. Eminem attacking Melly Mel doesn't sit well with me, especially when he's doing it on a song by another white rapper. Although Eminem is a skilled wordsmith, he takes offense to everyone who doesn't rank him in their top 5. This is becoming redundant, and this is a whole load of clown.
Yes, it was.
Because first of all, Easy Mill isn't a quote white rapper,
right?
And Melly Mel used Eminem's race to count him out. Now it's Eminem attacking Melly Mel, and it's like a community gathering. Ignorant this post with takes like he ain't top 5. None of his new ish gets played or
yeah, of course it tracks all the clowns and ignorant motherfuckers on there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the thing. That was the thing about it. It's like, how you gonna call someone that's clearly I was still stuck on that when he called Easy Mill white when he's clearly Filipino. It's like he probably would have known that if he did a quick Google search or looked up an interview from the guy for just miscategorizing his race.
Nobody quotes his bars. He has a standout feature. Every 5 years, the young dudes ain't requesting a feature. He requests.
What? This tweet is whoever tweeted this was a stupid motherfucker. Cause how? Maybe not in your top 5, and maybe not around your friends as far as new shit, but it's definitely getting played. I mean, the sales don't lie. New shit gets played here and played in different countries, whole countries outside the U.S. Maybe not in your hood or the people you hang around with, but people still quote his bars, and not every fucking 5 years. And yes, a whole lot of these young dudes want to do an Eminem feature. Even some of the old heads that be wanting to hop on a song with Eminem, and even saying they're fearful hopping a song with him because he might have the standout verse. So, shit, this man was reaching. Talk about a reach.
Features now.
God damn, stupid bastards walking around.
I know.
And moving on to the next point today, Joe Biden recently reacted to Eminem walking out Terrence Crawford, and according to him, he knew it was over for Errol Spence Jr. when Lose Yourself came out.
When this song comes on, you can do anything in the world.
Yep.
You can accomplish anything you need to accomplish.
Facts.
It's a cheat code. I was in my room by the time this beat dropped. I said, holy shit. I said the same thing. What the? This. Oh my! I was in. Oh my god! This is down. I switched sides. I switched sides so fast before M could see his mom's spaghetti on his shirt.
This will spark reactions like, for once.
Yeah, one of the few moments I agree with Joe Budden.
If Terrence Crawford had lost, Joe would most likely have a very different.
He probably would have.
And some have concluded, Lose Yourself is such a classic.
It is.
M's biggest critics can't deny M's pain is undeniable. But people forget that Joe Budden basically played out Stan's story arc in real life. Huge fan turned hater. And we did a short video on this fact before. Share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. And see you.
Yeah, I love this guy's videos. Shit, I might go ahead and give a reaction to on this live stream more so. Because I know what's his name, Stevie Knight. And by the way, shout out to Stevie Knight on another subject. Shout out to Stevie Knight for pushing that content out. He's low-key inspiration and want me to get back out there and not get back out there, but more so get back active like I used to with my channel. You know what I mean? Just post a video here and there like back to back. You know what I mean? With the day or two apart from one another. And drop like 2, maybe a day. Cause man, like Stevie Knight been cranking content on his other channel, Night Talk, and as well as holding down that like his regular reaction channel, and it's messed up how, and it's kind of messed up how people done canceled his channel. Like they done got his like Night Talk channel like I don't know what it is. They got canceled this shit. Like, bruh, like, it's still on YouTube now, but he hasn't been posted as much as he normally would. Because, you know, they had like a few strikes and such over the content he posts, which I say like Stevie Knight said shit wrong on his channel ever since I watched it. Ever since I started paying attention to Night Talk. Because, yeah, I haven't seen nothing that would be considered offensive, hateful, and nothing. I mean, it's just like someone on the higher ups on YouTube. Just like in their feelings and probably belong to one of these little groups that's in their feelings about what's being said on the video. Instead of like, okay, this is this guy's opinion. I'm gonna have to agree with him, but I'm not gonna fuck with his channel. At least that's how I would approach it. If I don't like somebody, I'm not gonna just like cancel their channel. I'm gonna let whoever not even let, but it's like if I don't like something that's been said on the channel, even some content creators that are like subscribe to the far left, I'm not gonna just go after them and shit. Like, okay, I don't fuck with that viewpoint. I'm gonna go somewhere elsewhere that's kind of more balanced. I mean, that's not extremist, not part of the whole extremist crowd, you know what I mean? Now we'll point out something that's maybe been said that be legit could be called racist, homophobic, or sexist, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Now if it's something that fits the correct definition of those words, I'm definitely calling it out. But if it's just, I don't know, man, it's crazy. Even then, I was like, I'm taking my business elsewhere, you know what I mean? I don't think I ever reported a YouTube channel for posting legit hateful content. I don't think I ever did that. I don't know, man. Maybe because I don't really get I don't want to get caught up in all that, because how the algorithms on YouTube be doing sometimes. They be targeting people that just have difference of opinion instead of the ones that's actually saying hateful content. You know what I mean? They just let certain ones get away with certain shit, and ones that just simply have different opinion, may not even belong to the right or whatever. They just, again, have difference of opinion and point and different takes on shit than most people would say in the mainstream. You know what I mean? So that even could be a whole nother subject. But yeah, anyways, keep on doing your thing, Stevie Knight. Fuck whoever's fucking with your channel, Night Talk. You know what I mean? Whoever got something to say about what you be posting on there can eat a dick. You feel me? You got a supporter right here, Stevie. So I'm still rocking with you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show that support if I react to his video, find out he was featured on Tech Nine's new album. Let the game. Ready to go. So the gang bangs.
Yo, Tech 9 here, saying what's up and welcome to Tech Week.
Nah, Tech Week.
Brought to you by Mr.
Stevie
Stevie
Knight.
Knight from the Patreon family, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all enjoy it. Tech Week.
Tech Week.
Stevie Knight.
Ah. Yeah, I remember his whole Tech 9 week thing he had going on 2 years ago.
Put it up, put it up, put it up. Ooh,
Tube
this
is
your
your
boy.
boy.
Night. Bop, to get on one of
These things, you feel me?
My Patreon family was cracking with y'all, man. Hey,
Yeah, I like his new old intro as well for his YouTube channel. This was before he made his like Night Talk channel, and he was mainly doing reactions. Now he kind of started dabbling his toes into the whole political issues in 2000, at the height of 2020's protests and such. Then he decided to do his own channel, speaking on what's going on in the world and such like that. He even did a reaction to an old reaction they did towards Candace Owens' comments about George Floyd and shit. And he's like, damn, I really grew a lot from that. And that low-key scene that got me wanting to do reactions to some of my old videos as well. Now, because I've been thinking about doing one for the 2-part video where I was just going off on people that's criticizing J. Cole for responding to no names, like tweets and such, on the song Snow on the Bluff. I might do that. See how far I've came from there. And maybe some mistakes I feel, based on what I think about the video, I was like, oh man, because I personally feel I could have, I don't know, been more relaxed. I mean, not more relaxed. I could have added some more context to it, maybe slightly more context. I don't know. I'm about to rewatch it because I know I had something. Because regardless of what I just said about context, or whatever, but I feel like I could have improved on that video, on that 2-part video. But you could definitely tell I was really into Cole, and I was willing to just go to bat for whoever had something to say about J. Cole. You know what I mean? Because he made songs speaking on black issues, more so. Yeah, or let me rephrase that: speaking on issues that affect African Americans, not African Americans in America for years. You know what I mean? He had songs like that throughout his discography. So for people to come that was coming at him sideways 3 years ago, I was not feeling that. You know what I mean? But back to this video, back on topic. You know what I mean? I just had to get that out because I was thinking of how he reacted to that video. Got me inspired to do a reaction to one of my that old video and my reaction to J. Cole's song, the Bluff song. You know what I mean?
if you here, you already know what time it is. Tech Week. Remember
Tech
where your
Week.
headphones at. Ain't got time to be bullshitting. Patreon family, love y'all motherfuckers.
Patreon.
Appreciate y'all motherfuckers. YouTube, love y'all motherfuckers too. Appreciate y'all motherfuckers too. Let's get this shit going,
That
shawty.
man kept on saying,
The merch, shopstephenice.com, man. And
let's
let's
get it.
get right into it. Tech 9, Psychology 101. This is a whole album, I believe, but heavy request. Let's get it.
Hey, now everybody sit down and
Shut the fuck up.
Class is now in session.
Ooh,
Hear that lovey-dovey shit? Get the fuck out.
man, that song brings back memories. When I first heard the song in the last couple of months going to my senior year, I was on this whole thing and like kind of giving a finger to whoever's new was out at the time. I still listen to a few of it here and there, but I was really feeling it like that. Only new shit I was rocking with was either something from Gucci or Waka or that whole Brick Squad thing. Except for OJ Juice Man. But I did hear some OJ Juice Man songs here and there. But I wasn't really fucking with too many these like mainstream artists at the time. So Tech 9 was kind of like that. I don't call it gateway drug, was kind of like the antidote to it from my point of view back then. And like, I've just been a fan of him ever since that time. And that was the first project I heard from him was Psychology 101.
If you soft and scared of
Hardcore shit. Get the fuck out. Shit. Psychology 101. Tell you this. Tech 9.
I can dig it already. If you a bitch, get the fuck out. If you a hoe, get the fuck out. If you a soft ass motherfucker, get the fuck out. If you body, let's get it.